TF2's first community-made man-up update for Man vs. Machine is arriving soon, so I thought I'd give some of my personal wishes for this update in the future of Man vs. Machine. This is a wish list, not a prediction, so keep in mind some things on my list may not seem realistic, but who knows. Anything can really happen. This update is a first of its kind and is incredibly unprecedented, especially these days, so I'm putting all my cards on the table for this list. No demand is too big for today. One note before I begin, however, is I won't be listing specific missions for maps on this list, just the maps themselves. There's just so many missions out there and I simply can't play them all or easily test them for this video. I will say, however, that I'm a big fan of new ideas. My favorite custom missions tend to be those with new bosses, new tanks, new robot variants with special attributes and abilities. Those are always interesting to me. Some may call those gimmicks. I call it innovation. So that's what I want to see above all else. But without further rambling, let's start with what we can expect in this update. Maps. Before this update was announced, many community-created MVM maps didn't actually end up on the workshop, so there's been a huge influx of old maps being submitted in the lead up to the deadline. But if you've ever been a member of the Potato TF community, you've probably got years of experience on a good chunk of these. I haven't played on every custom MVM map, but I've played on a lot of them over the years. So for my wishlist, I'm going to name only maps that I have personally played on. And I will restrict myself from suggesting anything just because I think it's pretty. So sorry for any newer submissions out there, I just haven't had the opportunity to play them. So I can't in good faith recommend them just yet. Plus I do believe this update may also benefit from officially implementing some of the most beloved community MVM maps from over the years. First of all, located in the beautiful Possum Springs is my first map wish, Waterfront. This map takes place in a water treatment facility and is on the smaller side for maps. Waterfront first released over 8 years ago in June of 2017 as a submission for the Mappers vs. Machines contest, which it was a finalist for. I played quite a lot on this one in particular, so I may be a bit biased for it, but it's a beautiful water-themed map and I've had lots of fun playing all kinds of missions on it. The smaller scale of the map really punishes you for mistakes, but man, when you coordinate with your team effectively, this map is a ton of fun. Set in a swampy village is the second map wish today, Bogland. This one's only about a year old as far as I can tell, but I've had an absolute blast playing on it during the current Operation Bolted Barbecue. It's another gorgeously detailed map, but it has an incredibly good layout in my opinion as well. I know I said I wasn't going to put missions in this wish list, but for Bogland I will make one exception. This map has a mission where you fight robot crocodiles, all while alligators are randomly jumping out of the murky water, and at the end of the mission, there's a giant robot crocodile that shoots alligator spawning rockets. If that doesn't sound like the most badass thing you've ever heard, I don't know what to tell you. But if there's any mission I want for this update, it's that one, hands down. End of discussion. Time for a true classic, MVM Underground. Anyone who's ever tried custom MVM has played on this map, and it stuck around after 10 years for a reason, because it's just that good. This map takes place, of course, underground, in an abandoned mining facility. It's on the bigger side of MVM maps and has a lot of open areas and pathways for the robots to run around. This is a map that I've found myself struggling to hold the defense on because it's so easy for the robots to push back, and once they push you back, it becomes a real challenge, but it's a good one, and I think many people would like to see this map in particular officially added. Adding to the criminally low number of space maps in TF2 is Charon, which released in December of last year. This map features a low gravity effect when outside of the main base. But don't worry, it's not too floaty or anything. I barely even noticed it at first. The first of 3 robot spawns on this map is in a wide open area and gives Red Team lots of high ground. The second point has less high ground and less cover, and the third point is within the closed-in walls of the base, making this map have some pretty punishing progression if the robots are pushing back the team. Played a lot on this one lately, and I can say it's certified peak. Now typically for MVM updates, Valve doesn't add a whole lot of maps. I think I'm already pushing it at 4, but I kind of want to spotlight a lot, and I do kind of hope that Valve adds quite a few. They've got years of no MVM content to make up for, but I don't have time to go in depth about every single map because I want to talk about other stuff in this video. So for the next few ones, I'm just going to name some of my favorites. Scrapyard, Rancher, Hoovy Dam, that one's a classic. Doppler, Quetzal, which uses the Mayan pack. Don't think there's any other maps in the game that use the Mayan pack, so that'd be pretty cool. And honestly, the list just goes on, but those are my favorites. and like I said, I'd like to move on to the rest of the wish list. Now this is just speculation, but with new missions and maps for MVM come a new set of rewards, right? I mean, what's the point of playing these new missions if they don't grant anything new? If it's the same loot, then nothing's stopping people from just continuing to play 2 cities for another decade and ignore the new maps completely, which I'm assuming Valve doesn't want. So we actually have a real possibility here of getting some new goodies into TF2. So I'd like to tell you what I'd like those goodies to be. The most obvious reward to me would be new Strangifiers, since there's a few weapons in TF2 that are unable to be strange, like Dragon's Fury for example. So adding some new ones would be an obvious and easy pick. Since we're getting new missions, it's safe to say that there will be new tours that comprise said missions, and currently each tour in-game has its own unique bot killers you can get with them, so I would say a new set of bot killers for the new tours is likely. There are some unused bot killers in the files currently, the Uranium bot killer and the Mirror bot killer, which are basically ready to push out. But there's also some nice community-made bot killers that would be nice to see. My favorite of these is the sick as hell Ghoul killers that was recently put out onto the workshop, which has a zombie head and a skull as the attainable charm for most weapons, and the spy's knife has an eyeball. I love these so much, but they might not be suitable for a tour that isn't strictly Halloween themed. So I could see these being rewards for a Halloween specific tour, or just as rewards that drop in all tours but only during Halloween events and full moons. I think a combination of the unused bot killers plus these would be pretty good. And of course the one reward everyone and their mother is asking about. We all want to know if we can see more Australians finally coming to the game. And I don't know what to expect for this. But Valve would be out of their minds if they didn't have new Aussies as exclusive rewards for the new tours. I'd be satisfied with any new Aussies, but we definitely need an Aussie shotgun. If anything, please give us that. Also, something I want to know from earlier is that most Man Up players pretty much exclusively play Operation 2 cities, and one of the main reasons for that is the rare opportunity to drop a golden frying pan. If Valve really wants to add more variety to Man Up, they should probably introduce a new golden weapon for the new tours. A great appeal to the golden frying pan is that it can be used by all classes, so I think sticking with that theme would be ideal. Looking at all the all-class melees, I don't quite see one I think would fit as a golden weapon. The Bat Out of Hell is the best contender in my opinion, considering the update's release schedule, and it would go nicely with the Ghoul Killers. Other than that, I think the only option would be to add a brand new all-class melee. Before we move on from Australians, another possibility is a new rare metal variant. I know people like the Aussies, but they've definitely gone up a significant amount of price over the years, and introducing a new metal variant that's maybe less rare could be beneficial. It could be something like the New Zealiums we've seen before in other community projects. Last year's summer update introduced a lot of Tropic Crisis content, and a big theme in that project was Brazilium. Or they could create something entirely brand new, possibly even throw in some mechanical looking versions of current weapons as rewards too. That'd be pretty cool. This idea is more of a stretch, and most likely we'll just be getting new Aussies if anything, but I do wish to see new metal skins in the future. This update will probably be limited to just new maps, missions, and rewards, but another wish on my list is a new robotic cosmetic case. There's a lot of great options on the workshop for it, so it would be nice to see. I also saw some submissions for new canteens, which would be pretty cool, so I'm going to add that to my list as well. I think the best one would probably be the Cranial Processing Unit, or CPU for short, but I'm also a big fan of the Bread Battery, so I'd like to see either of those especially. Ultimately, however, my biggest wish for this update is that it's the first of many down the line. Man vs. Machine is so much fun, and honestly I've found myself playing it more than the base game recently. Something about the coordination and high-stakes team play is just exhilarating, and the community comes up with such good custom tours. If it's in the cards, I'd like to see Man vs. Machine get its own community-made updates every year as a new seasonal event. New maps, missions, and tours, packed with new rewards each year. Maybe that's too much to ask for, but that is my biggest wish of all. Let me know what you're wishing for down in the comments below. I'll see you next time.